Happy Self Love Sunday. I am Tarnisha Mosas, your host of Self Love Sundays. I am your vision strategist coach who comes every single Sunday so we can talk about all the ways in which we can better our best. And listen, the holidays are upon us. And I know the holidays are supposed to, be joyful. But for some of us, the season brings sadness, stress, or memories that weigh us down. And if you've ever felt like this or you feeling that way now, I just want you to know that you're not alone. Today, I'm going to share three powerful ways to break the cycle of holiday sadness, not by avoiding your feelings, but by working through them um, with healing and reclaiming your peace and power. Because I want you to make this year the year you stop surviving the holidays and the year you actually be able to embrace what's happening around this month with true healing. And because the truth is, it's for the holiday is doesn't feel like a celebration, right? For some, it's financial stress, family conflicts, or grief over who or what is missing. For others, it's unresolved trauma or a sense of loneliness that's magnified by the perfect holiday and what people see on social media and all the gifts and the relationships, and it's just become really stressful. And here's the truth of the matter: for the person who feels like they're missing it, and for the person who just wants to be happy. There are some people who are really experiencing the perfect holiday, but they feel this immense pressure that they can't share their joy and happiness with the world because there are some people that are feeling down. So that causes them to even feel stressful, right? And the worst part, many of us are stuck in this same cycle every year, hoping it will magically feel better, but it doesn't. And I've been there. And so for me, it was in December of 2010. For those of you who've been around for a while, you know that our oldest son was murdered on December 11th of 2010. And he had, before he passed away, he had a daughter. And so this has happened December 11th, and what, 2 weeks later there's a Christmas holiday, right? And what our family had to endure and go through in it was magnified times 10 because Christmas was coming, and that's a holiday that we were all going to spend together. But there was biggest missing link because he was the oldest boy. And with him being the oldest, he kind of was like the glue for the kids. And it was just terrible. And you're watching everybody else have this joyous holiday, and you're trying to work through the grief of what's happening. And then I'm feeling all sorts of way because my granddaughter, she's just a baby. She had no idea. She didn't really get to know her dad well. Was going to spend this her first real Christmas without her dad. And so it wasn't a lot, but it wasn't until I stopped trying to ignore my feelings because I was the mom and I felt like I had to be strong and show face and move forward because the kids, and not because I knew if I was presenting myself a certain way then they would be okay. But I was ignoring my feelings and I was ignoring my grief. But I had to give myself permission to process that. I had to give myself permission to be angry with God. I had to give myself permission to be angry about what happened. I had to give myself permission to feel my feelings and understand that the God that I serve has emotions too, and he had emotions that was shown. And I want to start this also. Let me give my disclaimer because I didn't. I am not here to tell you who you believe in. It's not my job. The purpose of this is to say that to build any foundation of anything, it should be on solid ground, and that should be with the God that you serve. Okay. And so I had to be honest about so many things. And you know what else I had to get honest about? I had to get honest about the fact that this had nothing to do with God. It had everything to do with a person who invoked his free will. And so I had misplaced anger. And so I realized I had to confront the issue of the person, because so often we get to blaming the God we serve and not understanding that people have free will. And so I had to get to the root of it, which was the person who committed the act that essentially to me felt like he tore our family apart. but I had to give myself permission to do that. And I want you to do that today. Give yourself permission to feel what you're feeling. The issue is we go through each season trying to avoid and trying to survive and wanting to be strong and wanting not to show face. And we're bleeding all over everyone and in every environment that we go. We may be bleeding because we're drinking too much. We may be bleeding because we're smoking away. We may be bleeding because we're sexing away. We may be bleeding because we are hurt and angry people and we're spilling hurt and angry on other people. So you are bleeding, you just don't know it. And today I'm here to tell you that you can break the cycle. Okay. And the first step to healing is just what I said is getting honest. Getting honest. You can't fix what you don't face. If it's grief, is it trauma? Listen, unmet expectations, financial stress, whatever it is, give a name to it. Give a name and give yourself permission to say, that's what I'm feeling and it's okay. I am allowed to feel my emotions. And so here's some practical exercises. Take 10 minutes and stop trying to avoid, stop trying to drink it away, sex it away, party it away, drug it away, right? Trying to ignore and actually write down every single thing. Get it out of your head, get it out of your heart, get it out of your body by journaling. Write it all down, get it all out. Get it all out. Get it all out. And here's the thing, in the midst of it, pray about it. Take those feelings to God. This is exactly what I'm feeling today. I don't serve a phony God. And what I mean by that is I come, listen, there's sometimes when I say, look at here, Jesus. Yes, because it's if he's my friend, then it's real. So I can have a real conversation. And whoever you serve, I want you to have a real conversation. Respectfully, God, I'm feeling this kind of way. It allows you to get open enough so he can hear you, so we can work through it. Okay? Say it out loud. Speak your truth. Stop trying to avoid the truth. I have someone who's in my community and she said, I'm struggling right now. That's okay. That's okay. Because now, once you start to name it, then guess what? That's where the healing begins. Healing begins when you start to acknowledge what you're feeling and not avoiding it and not walking around. And I don't believe in false positivity either. You know, the Lord is going to take everything away. Listen, keep it real. Be honest. Be honest. You can't heal if you're not real. And you can't heal what you're not willing to face. And honesty is the foundation of everything. It's time for you to get honest with yourself. And it's time for you to actually name the people or the person who did this because there's so much, what we call church hurt in the world that's happening today. And we want to blame God. But here's what I'm here willing to say to you. Here's what I want you to hear today. Get to the root of the person. That's not God. That's a human being doing, enacting, and they're invoking their free will. So who are you really mad at? And it's okay if it even is God. I want to be clear on that. But I also want you to get to the root. I want you to get to the root. I don't care what religion you serve. If someone is Muslim and somebody weaponize Allah to you, right? You may feel some kind of way about it. If you're a Christian and somebody weaponized Jesus to you, you're gonna feel so. And it's a person weaponizing. Right? So get to the root of it is what I'm here to tell you. And it's going to help you. And it's okay. It's okay to feel what you're feeling. Right? So that's number one. We got to get real about what we're feeling. Number two, listen, when you're overwhelmed by expectations, whether it's from family, society, or even yourself, it's easy. It's easy to lose sight of what you need. What if this year, instead of focusing on what others want, right? You made the holidays about what brings you peace, comfort, and healing. Because the other thing is, the other side to this is we're so busy trying to take care of everybody else, making sure our children, making sure our grandchildren, making sure our significant others, making sure our friends, everybody has this thing, these expectations of what you think they should have, and you're ignoring yourself. And so you're stuffing down the trauma, you're stuffing down the stress, and you're taking on more financial burden, which guess what? Keep you in this repetitive cycle. I want you to start to notice your patterns. Is this around the same time every year that you start to feel the same thing? Why is this? This has nothing to do with the holidays and everything to do with the pattern that you're not facing. And I need you to start to let go of the shoulds, okay? So this is number one, how you reframe the season. Let go of the shoulds, okay? No, you don't have to attend every event. No, you don't have to buy extravagant gifts. If you think that's what the holiday season is about anyway, you already on the wrong foot. Or you don't have to create the perfect picture holiday for the perfect pictures to put on social media. Give yourself permission to say no and choose what feels right for you. And it's not selfish, it's selfless, because what happens when you heal is if you do celebrate the holidays, you're gonna go into the holiday season next year feeling the best you've ever felt. But you're not gonna get there if you don't get to the root. If you don't give yourself permission to say no. I'm not here to listen. My kids already know. Like, I do the best I can around the holidays, but it's never been about that. It was one year I remember when I bought this townhouse and I was like, Merry Christmas, I bought us a home. Hello. It's not about that anyway. Not about, if you make it about material things and not about the love, not about the birth, then you're already on the wrong foot. And it's okay for you to, you know what? I want to give yourself permission to say, you know what? Maybe all those other years I made it about that, but this year I'm going to change it and I'm going to make it about something else. Create, and so the next step is create new, memories in, I don't like to call them ritual traditions for yourself. So instead of forcing yourself into traditions that feel heavy or painful, why not create new ones that reflect where you are now? You're not the same person that you used to be, and that's okay. It could be as simple as a quiet dinner, a solo trip, or even a gratitude list to start your morning. So how about this, right? Because my new ritual, like, I love to play my game night. Game night, pulling out some Uno cards. Turn on some music and dance. It don't have to be about everybody else. And where people have to adjust to you, yes. And they should. Okay? And they should. It's about creating boundaries. Create the boundaries. It doesn't have to be, and if somebody says, hey, you know what, you're acting different, it needs to be different. This year I need to be honest about where I am. And because I am breaking this cycle of having to be sad every December. Like, really think about that. It's not about a holiday at this point. At this point, it's about a cycle of something that you have not come to grips with. And so make room for joy without pressure. You don't have to feel happy every moment. It's not realistic, but you can enjoy small, joyful moments. Look for what feels good to you, whether it's a warm cup of tea. And let's not make what feels good to you something that's going to self sabotage you. Let's not make it about the alcohol. Let's not make it about the drugs. Let's not make it about the sex. Let's not make it about all the depressing things. Let's find something that's going to make you happy and healthy and whole, that's going to feed your body in such a way that it gets to be joyful. Because I'm going to break it to you now. Have I drunk wine? Absolutely. I'm not saying never drink alcohol, but if you're drinking it to numb a feeling, guess what? That's a problem. Guess what? It doesn't help. Guess what? When you get up in the morning and you become sober, you have to look at all the things, whether it's drugs, alcohol, or whatever, even if it's sex, you have to come the next morning and look yourself in the mirror about what took place the day before. And here's the thing, this is not about shaming you, but this is about looking in the mirror and say, if you don't want this anymore, you have to create something different. You cannot, listen, old ways are not going to open new doors. So we have to listen, it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. As a matter of fact, it shun people away from you. This is your wake up call. This is the moment to say you can do it differently. But it's a choice too. Let's not make this, well, I have no choice but to do this or be. That's a lie. And again, we're going to be truthful this holiday season because I want you to break the cycle. You can have joy, but it's about what you're making it. You can make it something different. The holiday season doesn't have to be what others expect of you. It can be exactly what you need. And when you start there, it's going to change things. And I'll just give you this, right? Because I don't usually do the Bible scripts for scriptures for everybody, but I will give you Ecclesiastes 3, which reminds us that for there's a time for everything. There's a season, there's a time to grieve and a time to dance. You are allowed to find the balance between the seasons. But hear me though, it should be a season, not every season. But there is a time for everything. When my son passed away, there was a time I had to allow myself to grieve, and it was okay. But here we are in 2024. Do I still have moments of grief? Yes, but it doesn't overshadow everything. When that day comes, it doesn't overshadow everything. When December 10th comes, I don't feel the guilt anymore that I felt like, man, maybe if he was just home, that wouldn't have happened. But I had to get honest about it. And so today I want you to get honest. And so we've been talking about how many people have been distract themselves with, from sadness during the holidays, but that only guarantees the same feelings will keep returning year after year. So what if we got real, right? And go deeper? Because avoiding the pain only allows it to build, and we never work through it, and so it just gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And then I hear the people in my ear saying, well, I've tried everything. No, you haven't. I said it. Seek professional support. If the holiday triggers traumas for you, I don't care what they are. It's the perfect time to start therapy and or counseling. You don't have to carry the burdens alone. It's a choice. And I know that's hard to hear, but I want to be honest with you. It is a choice, and you can choose. Listen, options are powerful, and you have so many. You just can't, your mind is just not allowing you to see it. But if you start to seek professional help, it can. And they have things, there's Black Girl Therapy. I know you can look at Psychology Today, and they actually have a list of therapists in your area. And some therapists do pro bono, so please don't make this about money. Some of them have sliding scales, but you got to take that initiative and practicing radical forgiveness of self, right? If family conflict is a part of your sadness, ask yourself, what would forgiveness free me from? Because forgiveness doesn't mean excusing their bad behavior, and it doesn't mean releasing the. It doesn't mean you are saying what they did was okay. Is you taking your power back? What would it feel like if I just freed myself from that person and that thing that happened to me? And how can I do that? What are the ways? And maybe it's about picking up books on forgiveness. Maybe it's about reading about forgiveness and how we can go about doing that. How about asking the God you serve for restoration? Pray specifically for healing in the areas that hurt. I know my God promises to make beauty from ashes, but you have to hand them the ashes first. That means you have to be willing to go to them and say, I am hurt and I am bothered. This is bothering me. And I thank you even right now that you're going to help to open my mind and free me from the burdens that are shackling me. I thank you even right now, Lord, that as I speak these words, healing is coming to my life. Healing is coming to my family. I know that right now it doesn't look this way. And I know that everything surrounding me seems like it's never going to get better. And I know right now as I speak it, Lord, that joy is coming in the morning. And I thank you. What if you just start speaking to it? And that doesn't mean, because God isn't a genie in a bottle, that automatically the wand is going to start weaving. But I promise you, it's going to start to open you. I don't care who you called your God, universe, whatever. Do what you need to do to open yourself to the healing. Because this cannot be in 2025. This cannot be in 2026. Make this the year. Make this declaration that this is the year that I'm done. You don't have to just survive the holidays anymore. You can actually get to enjoy it. So that's what I wanted to come and talk to you, because I don't want you to make this holiday. And I know, like, sometimes I just want to tell you, because I look up, because when I speak, I look for words to come down. Okay. Because this holiday season doesn't have to feel like a burden. By being honest about what's hurting you, and what hurts, creating a season that actually serves you. You deserve it. You've been doing it for everybody else. You've done it for your children. You've been trying to do it for everybody else. How about this year you do it for you? And do the deep healing work, right? Start by breaking this cycle of sadness, because you know what you don't understand is that you think you're hiding it from your family. As a matter of fact, you're not. You're magnify it. And everything that you want to break, you're not going to break in that generation. You're not going to break it for your grandkids. You're not going to break it for your children, because it begins and ends with you. It starts with you. You want to do something extravagant for this holiday season? What if you heal you? Because once you do that, because you become a better you. And when you start to love yourself in that way and you say, I love myself enough to do this, because guess what? It's going to make me a better mother, a better grandmother, a better father, a better friend. It's going to make me a better partner. It's going to make me better. That's how it starts. It starts with you, one step at a time, one day at a time. God is with you in the process and is here for your healing, but you got to call on him and you got to be honest with him. Okay? And if this message spoke to you, drop a comment below and let me know. I just want to hear you say, I love myself enough to let this be the last holiday that I'm going to be in the place that I am today. I love myself enough that this will be the last holiday that I will be in the place that I am today. And I want you to write that in the comments. I love myself enough that this will be the last holiday, December, if you don't call it a holiday, that I will be in this place. And remember that healing takes time. We get out of this microwave popcorn society that it's just going to happen overnight. That's not how this goes. Give yourself grace and give yourself time. And just remember, you don't have to do it alone. You can choose. If you're doing it alone, it's a choice. It's a choice. This community is here for you. Okay. And there are so many others out there. I'm not the only one. There are people that come on here freely that are here, but you got to pull out, you got to reach out too. And it's not a handout, it's a hand up. Okay. So please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you know this is someone who's struggling this season and they need to listen to this, please share. And just remember that together we are better. And it takes you to start to work and heal you. And guess what? That's how we heal the world. And I hope you have the most amazing, amazing Sunday. And I will talk to you next week. Bye now.